Hello everyone, and welcome to the QMS certification channel. Today, we're continuing our ISO 14001 to 2026 series with another major update: climate, biodiversity, and ecosystems. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and share this content with professionals interested in environmental management systems and sustainability. Now let's get directly into the topic. One of the biggest evolutions in ISO 14001:2026 is that climate change, biodiversity, and ecosystems are no longer treated as secondary or generic environmental themes. They are now explicitly integrated into the environmental management system itself, and this is a very important change. In the previous version of ISO 14001, environmental issues related to climate or biodiversity were often addressed indirectly or interpreted very broadly. Even after the climate change amendment, many organizations simply mentioned climate considerations within their SWOT analysis or organizational context without deeply integrating the topic into the management system. That changes now. In ISO 14001:2026, these themes become much more operational, structured, and interconnected with the entire environmental management framework. The standard now explicitly references these subjects within several key clauses. First, within terminology and environmental concepts. Second, within organizational context. And third, within environmental policy itself. This means organizations are now expected to evaluate how climate, biodiversity, and ecosystems relate to their operational reality and environmental risks, and this evaluation must go beyond generic statements. The organization will need to determine whether these issues are material and applicable to its context. Now let's clarify what this means in practice. The new ISO 14001:2026 does not require every organization to hire biologists, conduct scientific biodiversity studies, or create complex climate models. That is not the intention. The standard requires organizations to evaluate relevance. In other words, do climate-related risks affect the organization? Does the organization impact biodiversity? Does the organization operate within or near sensitive ecosystems? Could environmental changes affect operational continuity, supply chains, or regulatory obligations? Those are the types of questions organizations will need to assess. And if the answer is yes, then those risks and opportunities must be integrated into the environmental management system. This integration becomes visible throughout the standard, for example, within organizational context analysis, within environmental objectives, within operational controls, within risk and opportunity planning, and within the environmental policy itself. This is where the standard becomes more strategic. Environmental management is no longer limited to internal pollution control or waste management alone. Organizations must now evaluate broader environmental interactions and long-term environmental resilience. Let's look at some practical examples. An organization may establish climate-related objectives focused on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Another organization may implement actions to protect local biodiversity around its facilities. A manufacturing plant located near water resources may need to evaluate impacts on aquatic ecosystems or watershed preservation. A company operating in environmentally sensitive regions may need to assess ecosystem dependency risks. All of these situations now become much more relevant within ISO 14001:2026. Another important concept connected to this update is double materiality. Organizations must evaluate not only how they impact the environment, but also how environmental changes can impact the organization itself. For example, extreme climate events may affect operational continuity. Water scarcity may affect production capacity. Supply chain disruptions may increase environmental and operational risks. This broader perspective is becoming central to modern environmental governance, Now let's discuss implementation. How can organizations prepare for this change? First, review your environmental policy. The updated version of ISO 14001 introduces stronger expectations regarding environmental commitments connected to climate, biodiversity, and ecosystems. Your environmental policy should reflect the organization's actual environmental commitments and strategic direction. Second, reassess organizational context. Review whether climate, biodiversity, and ecosystem issues are relevant and material to your organization. This analysis should be realistic and connected to operational reality. Third, connect these topics to your risk and opportunity process. If climate-related or ecosystem-related issues are material, they should be reflected within environmental objectives, operational planning, and controls. Fourth, ensure communication and awareness. Organizations may need to communicate these environmental commitments internally and externally, depending on stakeholder expectations and operational relevance. Now, let's talk about what auditors will evaluate during ISO 14001:2026 audits. Auditors will first verify whether these topics were genuinely considered during context analysis. Was climate evaluated? Was biodiversity evaluated? Were ecosystem-related risks considered? And if they were relevant, how were they addressed? The auditor will then evaluate how these themes were translated into risks and opportunities, operational controls, environmental objectives, and environmental commitments. The key focus is coherence. Does the organization's environmental management system realistically reflect its environmental context? That is what auditors will be looking for. Ultimately, this update represents a significant evolution in environmental management systems. ISO 14001:2026 pushes organizations toward a broader understanding of environmental responsibility and organizational resilience. Climate, biodiversity, and ecosystems are no longer peripheral discussions. They are now part of strategic environmental governance. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.